Hey y'all, it's Caroline. I know I haven't made a video in a hot minute, but I just kind of wanted to sit down and do my makeup and just kind of tell you a story. Just something that I've been dealing with for so long, and so I just wanted to, say that or whatever. But I just want to preface this by saying, this is my opinion, what I've been dealing with and going through with this company. If you've had a good experience or whatever, let me know, but this is what I have dealt with. I'm talking about LG appliances. I have an LG refrigerator. So anyways, I just wanted to start off with that. If you've had a good experience, I'm glad, I'm happy, but this has been my experience, and from what I've read online, it's been a lot of people's experiences as well. So anyways, start off by saying, we bought a brand new refrigerator. We bought it April 16th of 2016. It's an LG refrigerator. It's black stainless, and it has like a middle drawer, and it has the bottom freezer, and then the top refrigerator part. So we paid a little over $3,700 for this fridge. It is counter depth, so it's the same width as like the regular refrigerator or whatever, but it's not as deep, so it doesn't stick out as much, because I have a kitchen on the smaller side, and I just didn't want it, because the fridge sits right when you walk into the kitchen, so I didn't want it to stick out, a lot or whatever. I wanted to be able to have a lot of room, especially like when you open the freezer and stuff. So anyways, counter depth cost about $1,000 more than the regular, so you get a smaller fridge, but it costs more. Whatever. We got it, anyways. So then, no problem, whatever. Then let's see, when was the first time? May 31st of 2019. We had to have them come out. It was under warranty. They have LG has like a 10-year, like mechanical warranty or something like that, whatever. So anyway, so we had to have them come out because it stopped working. So they had to replace the compressor. So, they replaced the compressor. Just a little side story. The people that they had come out was Puls, Puls, I don't know. And the guy that came out did it. He, changed it, whatever. When they have to change it, they have to get, I don't know, something, and it has fire, and they have to, weld, so I don't know what they have to do. Anyways, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know what he had to do. Well, anyways, he ended up burning my kitchen floor. Whatever. He didn't say anything, and I didn't see it right away. It was like right in front of the fridge. So, anyways, called them. They said, oh, well, we can send him out to clean it up. I said, well, first off, it's a burn. What are you gonna clean? Second of all, I don't want him back at my house. So whatever. So that's just a side note. Anyways, I had to end up fixing the grout where it was at, and then the way my floor is, the like pattern on the floor, it kind of, I was able to clean some of like the black, and it kind of blended in. So, besides the grout, I had to fix it. Anyways, that's a side note. Had nothing to do with LG. Just thought I'd, say that too. Because it kind of, goes in with everything I've been dealing with. So anyways, it's fine, you know, it was working, whatever, no issues. Then, probably, oh, I don't know, the end of that year, I guess, I found out that LG had a lawsuit against them for their compressors. So, you know, I signed up, you know, they had sent me something, whatever, so I signed up being that lawsuit, you know. It, as I'm speaking, is still going on. So, anyways, then comes February 2021, the freeze. Electricity goes out, you know, comes back on. Well, of course, my fridge doesn't come back on. Well, it comes on, but it's not cooling at all, not working. Okay, whatever. So, I knew they still, you know, still under the warranty, the 10-year warranty, whatever. So, called them. So the freeze was what, like, second week of February. So, I called them probably, I don't know, that third week, whatever. I waited, you know, just because I knew there'd probably be a lot of people and whatever. So called them, I said, okay, we'll send somebody out. I told them I didn't want that company they sent back in 2019. They said, that's fine. They got another company, which I don't have an issue with this company or anything. So, I mean, I'm not going to say their name or anything like that, but I didn't have any problems with them or anything. So anyways, they came out, oh shoot, when was the first time they came out? May 4th, 2021. Because obviously through LG, nothing is fast. And so I had, you know, they have to like make up a work order or whatever, call all the people, then, you know, I don't know, schedule, whatever. So anyways, finally, May 4th, 2021. They come out, the guy spends about 3.5 hours putting in a new compressor and a new evaporator coil, I believe. So, you know, he says, okay, everything's good, whatever, you know, give it 24 hours to, you know, cool, whatever. So anyways, I probably gave it almost 48 hours, just, you know, to be sure. Well, of course, nothing happened. Not cooling, not doing, you know, whatever. So, I'm like, okay. So I called them back. Well, when they finish a job, they like close out the job or whatever. So they can't just send somebody out because they have to get with LG. LG has to make up another work order number or whatever, and then get with them and, you know, send them out, whatever. I was like, oh my gosh. I said, okay. I said, let me call LG, get the number, and then I'll call you back because LG takes so long to, you know, get with them and, you know, set up a appointment time. So she said, okay, you know, that's fine, whatever. Did that. They came out again probably 2 weeks later or so. It was the same guy. He come out, whatever, the compressor wasn't working, changed the compressor, put a new one in, says, okay, you know, changed it, whatever, give it 24 hours, see if it cools, whatever. Okay, you know, well, gave it a couple days, you know, just wanted to make sure. Of course, nothing happened, not working. Like, oh my God. So called again, and they said, okay. I said, okay, let me call LG, get a new, because of course they closed the job out. So let me get a new number. Called LG, did that. Called, made another appointment. This time they sent out, of course it was about 2 weeks later, the whole time, remember I don't have a refrigerator. We do have an old fridge out in the garage that we're using. It is quite a bit smaller, and it doesn't hold, you know, as much, but whatever. We do have a fridge, but when I have to cook, I have to go in and out of the garage, whatever. You know, it works. You know, I mean, it's better than I guess some people would just be without a fridge. So anyways, this time they send the same guy out, but they had brought in a guy from out of state who is like, I don't know, a pro and like knows everything, I guess, about fridge. I don't know. So anyways, they spend a little over an hour. He says, yeah, compressor's not working. Then they found a pinhole leak in something, whatever. They say, okay, we fixed it. Give it, you know, 24 hours, cool, whatever. So, give it 24 hours. And what do you know? Still nothing. Surprise, surprise. So, I call back. At this point, the lady that works at the place that's fixing it, I say, hey Jennifer, it's Caroline Sebren. You know, she says, oh my gosh, let me guess, it's not working. That's the point that I'm at with this company, because I have been dealing with this now for so long. So she's like, oh my gosh, okay. And I said, okay, once again, let me call LG and I'll, you know, call you back. She said, okay, you know, whatever. So I call LG, of course, same bit, same shit. Then, so they send out a different guy. He's like, I guarantee you I'll get your fridge working. So, okay, I'm not gonna hold my breath. So he's, you know, spends time doing whatever, having to change. This time he changes the, I guess there's 2 compressors, maybe one, I guess, for the fridge, and because he had to get into the fridge and pull all the shelves out and whatever. Changes that, and then changes the, you know, one for the freezer again. He says, okay, I'm done. Give it 24 hours. I said, okay. So, obviously, gave it some time. Guess what? This time I have the fridge is working, the middle drawer's not working, and the freezer's not working. I'm like, I'm done. I'm over this. I'm going to, you know, it's unfixable at this point. There's no reason in trying to continue this. I'm done. By this point, it's been probably 2 months that they've been working on this refrigerator of mine. And I'm done. I'm just over it. So I call LG. Well, obviously I call them, Jennifer. I'm like, hey, yeah, okay. So I call LG and I said, hey, what do we have to do to just get the refund? The like a buyback option if it's, you know. She said, okay, well, you have to have the people say that it is unfixable and, you know, whatever. I said, okay. So I called Jennifer back. They send the same guy as the time before. And so he gets there and I said, look, told him what's going on. He said, yeah. He said, I agree. It's just unfixable. So he said, I'll write that in and we'll get with LG and tell them, you know. I said, okay. So then I'm waiting, you know, waiting. Finally, hear from LG, and they're like, okay, you know, we hear you want to do the buyback option or whatever. This is what we need. So, name, number, all that jazz. And then she said, well, how much did you pay for it? And, you know, I told her around a little over $3,700. She said, okay. She comes back. She said, okay, well, do you have the receipt? I'm like, this is 2021. I bought it in 2016. Who has a 5-year-old receipt? I'm like, no. I said, plus we bought it online, so I wouldn't have had a traditional receipt anyway. She said, okay, let me see what I can do. So she gets back with me and she says, okay, without a receipt, the only thing we can do is give you like a prorated price or what they think it's worth right now. I don't know, something. And she comes back and I said, okay, whatever, how much? And she comes back. Remember, I paid $3,700 for this refrigerator. She comes back and says, we can give you $987. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I said, I paid $3,700 for this fridge. I've had a problem in 2019 with it, and now the issue now. I said, this is ridiculous. I said, no. I said, that can't be. So I'm like, I said, okay, let me, so I'm like trying to find a way to get this receipt. So I end up calling, we bought it online at Home Depot. Of course, I call them, they say, no, we don't, keep records from that far back. I'm like, okay. So I call the credit card company that we used. They said, no, we only keep 2 years back. Usually a year, but we can go back 2. And I'm like, okay, well, this has been 5. And they're like, nope, no way to get that. That it deletes right away, I'm like, oh my gosh. So there's no way to get this receipt. Obviously, I got an email when I bought it. I can't get a 5-year email that I deleted, obviously, because I wouldn't think I needed it. Who's going to keep a 5-year-old receipt? Anyways, if I still had like a store receipt, it would be so faded, you wouldn't be able to see anything anyway. Whatever. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, well, what am I mean, it's either take the $987 or I get nothing. So I'm like, whatever, that's fine. Whatever. So she's like, okay. I had to take the sticker off of the inside of the fridge, cut it in half, put it on this piece of paper, sign it saying that, I won't, try to go with the warranty again to try to get it fixed now that they're doing the buyback, whatever. I have to, get rid of it or dispose of it if I want, whatever. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So anyways, she's like, okay, you should receive your check in 7 to 10 weeks. I'm like, whatever, if I owed you money, you would take the money right then and there. You wouldn't take no 7 to 10 weeks. So, but of course they owe people and it's going to take 7 to 10 weeks. So the next time, I owe a company, I'm going to say, oh, well, I'll send you a check, but it'd probably be 7 to 10 weeks before you get it. But whatever. I said, okay, whatever. So I go about my business, living life, whatever. So I, kind of forget about it a little bit. And then I get to thinking, I'm like, I haven't heard anything from them. I haven't received anything. I said, let me see about when, I should get this check. Well, then I get to looking, and it's been about 14 weeks since they said it would be 7 to 10 that I would receive it, and I haven't gotten anything. So I'm like, okay. So I I first text the lady that I had been dealing with or whatever about it. Of course, no response. I'm like, okay. So I emailed her. No response. I'm like, okay. So I emailed her again. Wait a few days. No response. Okay. This is, getting a little irritating. So I decided to, because on the paper I had to sign, it has like the address, I guess, where the office is, that I've been dealing with. So, and then the phone number. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll call. called, you know, sat on the phone forever. And I'm like, okay, well, this is ridiculous. So then I start finding other people in that office, and I'm like, you know, I start emailing them. I'm like, hey, you know, I've been dealing with this person. Her name is Lisa Pointer. And I don't care about using her name because she is absolutely the worst customer service, care, whatever. So anyways, I email about 3 other people in this office. Meanwhile, I start looking up like the Better Business Bureau and stuff about, you know, maybe other people's experiences. And there's tons of other people having this same like, oh, buyback and not receiving anything, whatever, and no responses. I'm like, oh, great. Like, at least I would get, you know, $987. Now, I don't even know that I'm going to get it. Whatever. So, email those people, no response, still nothing from the original lady. So, I decide I'm going to call, sit on the phone for how long it takes. I was on the phone for 1 hour and 10 minutes before the first person even picked up the phone. Like, whatever. So, talk to this lady. She's like, oh, yeah, I see it here. You know, I don't know why you haven't received your check yet. She said, well, resend the paperwork to me, and I'll send it over to my supervisors. I'm like, okay. I said, well, I'm going to sit on the phone with you until you receive my email, just so I know you got it, because it doesn't seem like emails are working in y'all's office or something. This is just getting to be a little ridiculous. She's like, okay, that's fine, you know. So she gets the email. She said, yep, I see it here. I'm going to email it to my supervisors, and, you know, you should hear something, you know, whatever. So, wait a few days, then I finally get an email from Lisa Pointer, the original lady I've been dealing with, and she says, okay, they say they're going to cut, this was on a Thursday, and I forget, maybe August, I guess, I don't know. This was on a Thursday. She had emailed me. She said, okay, they're going to cut you a check on Monday of next week, and it will mail out Friday. I'm like, first of all, why are they going to cut a check on a Monday and then hold it and not mail it until Friday? Whatever. I just said, okay. You know, I didn't want no more issues. I'm just like, whatever. I said, that's fine. So Monday rolls around. Okay, Tuesday, I'm like, okay. Wednesday, I'm like, okay, still no check, nothing. Thursday, Wednesday, after I got the mail Wednesday, still no check. I'm like, okay, I'm calling back. So, I call. This time it takes about, I don't know, probably 40 minutes for somebody to answer, which, you know, a lot better than 1 hour and 10. And I'm like, tell them what's going on, whatever. Of course, she's like, oh, yeah, I see, I don't know what's going on, whatever. She said, let me look into it, and, you know, she said, just resend it to me, whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. Resend it to her. I'm like, I hear nothing. Finally, Monday of the next week, I'm like, this is ridiculous. I still haven't got a check. I haven't heard anything. Nothing. Emailed that Lisa lady back again. Still nothing. I'm like, I just don't get why she doesn't know how to email or something. I mean, I don't know what's going on. So, like, whatever. I call, and lady picks up, and I'm like, I tell her what's going on, and I said, I don't even, you know, this has nothing to do with you. I don't even want to talk. I just want to speak to a supervisor. I don't even want to deal with it. And she's like, immediately starts getting real defensive and is like, well, it's going to take 48 hours for a supervisor to get back with you. And I'm like, I said, that's not going to work for me. I said, that's stupid. I said, you're in an office. I know you have a supervisor or a manager somewhere in that office. Y'all aren't just in an office with nothing, no supervisor, no nothing. And she starts getting really irritated. And I'm like, that's not going to work for me. Well, she ends up hanging up on me. I'm like, oh, hell no. So I call back. About 35 minutes, person finally answers, and it's another lady, and of course I tell her what's going on. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. She said, I'm working from home, so I don't have a manager to, transfer you to or anything right now. She said, look, send me the email of the paperwork. She said, I will send it to my supervisors and we'll get this taken care of. I'm like, okay. So, oh, no. She tells me, oh, it looks like your paperwork got denied because the picture wasn't clear enough. It's not able to see. And I'm like, at this point, it's been 16 weeks since they told me I would get my check. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I'm like, why do I have to call y'all to find that out? Y'all should have, as soon as it got denied, why wasn't I told? And the two other people I've talked to previously, why didn't they tell me that? Why couldn't they have looked at the screen and been like, oh, I see here it's been denied, whatever, because of this. She's like, I don't know. She said, I'm so sorry, send it to me, whatever. I said, okay, I'm going to sit on the phone, same blah, blah, until you get the email. So she gets it. So she sent it over to her supervisors, and I don't hear anything for a couple days, and I'm like, this is ridiculous, this whatever. So finally, after about, 4 days after that, I get an email from the original person, Lisa Pointer, saying, oh, I'm sorry, it had been denied because it wasn't clear. I was like, this is ridiculous. She said, resend it, whatever. I said, this is ridiculous. I have already resent it to multiple people at this point. And in all caps, I sent her a email saying, this is 1000% absolutely ridiculous. This is not how customer service is supposed to work. I said, you need to learn to communicate much better than you do, because this is ridiculous. I don't know how many emails that have gone, without any response to them. And I said, this is not how you work. So send her that. So then about 3 days later, I get a phone call from, and during this time, I end up emailing the president of LG, because this is just absolutely ridiculous. Of course, obviously I don't hear anything back from that, because who would? And again, this is what I have dealt with. And I'm not saying, all LG products are bad or anything like that, because we have an LG TV, never had an issue, and that's a different, not a different company, but a totally different area of LG, LG Electronics versus, the appliances, whatever. So anyways, so this guy calls me, and he's like, hey, I see you've been dealing with this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yes. And he's like, this, it is totally uncalled for. He said, I am personally going to look into this and take care of it for you. I don't quite know who this guy is, if he was a supervisor. He never, I mean, he told me his name and stuff, but he never, like, you know, gave his, like, position in the company or something. I don't know. But I'm like, at this point, I'm so frustrated. So I'm like, okay, you know, he's like, I've, you know, personally sent over everything to, people to get this, you know, expedited and all that. I said, this is just absolutely ridiculous. And he said, yes, I totally agree, whatever. So I wait a couple days. Then I get, he calls me back. I don't know, about 3 or 4 days later. And he says, okay, I've got it all done. He says, it looks like they're going to cut you a check on September 3rd, and it will mail out September 7th. I just roll my eyes, and I'm like, okay, I've heard this before. It didn't happen. I said, so what happens when I don't receive the check after the 7th? Because I just don't have any hopes that I'm going to. And he's like, okay. He said, look, he said, I said, what do I do then? He said, okay. He said, I will personally call you on the September 21st to see, you know, what's going on, if you got it, if you hadn't, whatever, and then we'll go from there. I'm like, okay. I mean, at this point, what do I say? What do I do? You know, it's not like, I mean, my hands are tied, you know. I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. I mean, you know, it's only not even $1,000. They couldn't even give me $1,000 for a $3,700 fridge, but whatever. I mean, I guess at least it's something. So that's where I'm at now. I am waiting on that. Supposedly, you know, it's gonna cut on the 3rd, but not, they have to hold it for whatever reason until the 7th. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna argue. So in the meantime, I realized that my homeowners has, I have like mechanical breakdown on my policy, which, excuse me, covers anything that can be plugged in my house. So anything that is plugged into the house is covered under this mechanical breakdown policy. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go through that. It's still a hit on my policy, and deductible's $500. I'm like, but $500 for a new fridge is better than, you know, out of pocket buying a new fridge. So in the meantime, I'm going through that. Everything, it ends up going to, like, because I have HIPPO with my homeowners, which I love. I mean, I've never had an issue. Of course, you know, I haven't had them for too long, but, you know, never had an issue, whatever. Well, it goes through like a third party, whatever. Well, I end up getting a phone call today from them saying, that it won't be covered because it had that pinhole leak that I was telling you about. That's something over time, and it's not due to, I don't know, whatever. So it's not going to be covered. So I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Which, like, I'm not mad at, I mean, I was upset, but I'm not mad at the insurance company. If it's not covered, it's not covered. It's not their fault that, you know what I'm saying, that it probably happened when they fixed it back in 2019. He probably caused it, and it was just a small, slow leak, and yeah, eventually, you know, whatever. So that it's not covered. So now I'm not going through my homeowners. So now all I'm going to get for a $3,700 fridge is $987 if I ever receive it. So my advice, don't ever buy a LG appliance, refrigerator, whatever. I said, because unless you want a total headache dealing with the customer service part of it or whatever. And, you know, I mean, that's my opinion, but the whole shout out to anybody in the office at LG customer interactive center. What is the... Well, anyways, it's LG Electronics Alabama Incorporated, and it's 201 James Record Road, Huntsville, Alabama, 35813. And if you ever get a Lisa Pointer, don't expect to get any kind of response from her or anything, because anybody, matter of fact, anybody at that office is a total jerk, and they can go to hell. And I hope that I don't ever have to deal with them again, because I'm never buying an LG refrigerator again. So thankfully I won't have to deal with them, because this is not how a company works. You know, the only reason these people have a job is because of people like me that buy these appliances. So they work for us. We don't work for them. They work for us. They need to take care of the customer and do what they're supposed to. Bare minimum, just do your job. That's all. Like, bare minimum, don't go out of your way to, do something for the customer or anything. Just do your job. That's it. That's all I'm asking. Like, bare freaking minimum, do your goddamn job. I mean, it's as simple as that, you know? There's so many people that would love to have a job, and you're sitting here and you can't even do a simple job without, So I'm like, whatever. I'm not, and I was never irate with these people until, obviously, no response. I have all the emails I've ever sent to this lady. They've never been mean. They've never been derogatory. They've never, nothing. The only thing I've ever sent was the very last email, and it wasn't even, like, ugly. It was just all caps, like I was yelling, but it was just, do your job, basically. This is ridiculous. If she was on the other end, she would be in the same mindset as what I'm going through. I mean, this is ridiculous. It has now been 18 weeks since I've supposedly should have gotten this check. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. And if it wasn't legible and the picture wasn't good or whatever, it's fine. I'm not saying that, their computer sucks because they couldn't read or see the thing. That's fine. But why did it take 3 people to finally tell me, oh, well, that's why it didn't do it? Why didn't they contact me when they first denied it, saying, oh, it's because it's not legible? Why didn't I get a call or an email or a text or something saying, hey, it got denied because it's not legible, could you please send a clearer picture or whatever? And I got nothing. It wasn't until the 3rd person I talked to who told me that it was even denied. And that's just, it's ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And, if anybody ever says, hey, we're looking for a new fridge, you got any recommendations? I'm going to say, whatever you do, don't get LG. I don't care. I mean, and, the lawsuit's still going on because obviously they know there's an issue. They know that their compressors are bad. And, it's just ridiculous. But, who knows when that'll end, and who knows if I'll even get $50 from that lawsuit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not holding my breath or nothing. I mean, this is just absolutely uncalled for. This is not how a company works. This is not how a business is supposed to treat the people who keep them in business. It's stupid. And, I just wanted to sit down and rant and just, let everybody know what I have been flipping dealing with for, however long. And, we haven't had an actual working fridge since the 2nd week of February, and it is now September 1st. So, like I said, I have that fridge outside. It's old. It's not, of course, it's super old, and the damn thing is out in the Texas heat in the garage, and I've never had an issue with it. So all these new, new crap and everything, you can't, they're not reliable. And it's sad. And, that fridge was bigger or whatever, I'd put that, it's so nasty because it's been out in the garage, but I think it's a Whirlpool. So maybe I'll look into them. I don't know. I've never in my life had such an issue with a company. Just never. So that's my rant for today in my, PSA and, my feelings on everything. And, if anybody that works for LG sees this, I hope somebody high up sees it and can take care of, first off, take care of everybody in that freaking office in Huntsville, because they're a joke. And it's just, it's ridiculous. It does. There's no reason for that crap. But whatever. But that's what I've been dealing with for so long, and hopefully in 2 weeks I'll get the check and I won't have to deal with them anymore, because I won't be buying a fridge from them. So cross your fingers that I get the check and I don't have to deal with these stupid people and stupid company, because I'm done. I'm over it. Oh my goodness. So anyways, something totally unrelated. I bought, I don't know if Becca Cosmetics, if they're going out of business, or I don't know. I have to look it up, but they had a, big sale going on. So I bought, a few things or whatever. Well, I wanted to try their foundation. So I bought one of their foundations, and it is, let me see what it is. It's this one. It is the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. This is the absolute worst foundation. Literally, I'm taking this entire bottle and I'm just going to throw it away because it's so bad. It will not do good on primed skin, unprimed skin. It won't go on good with my hands. It won't go on good with a beauty blender, whether it's wet or dry. It won't go on good with a brush. It won't go on good with my Blendiful little puff. It's terrible. It is the worst foundation. You put it on, it looks terrible, so I would get my sponge and kind of, takes everything off. The moment you touch it, it just comes right off. It is absolutely, I can't get it to work. I can't get it to look good. Nothing. So if anybody has that foundation and they like it and they can get it to work, kudos to you, but it hates my skin. So I'm throwing it away because it is absolutely terrible. But so yeah, so I don't have anything going on today. I just felt like doing my makeup and ranting about LG for just a bit. So, but yeah, so if anybody else has had any kind of issues with LG products, or if you had to deal with like the customer service aspect of it, I'd like to know, because it was absolutely ridiculous. And, at the very beginning when I was dealing with them and stuff, that Lisa Pointer would always get back with me. We were texting and she's like, yes, I need this and this and this, whatever. And then once, I said I wanted a refund and all that, it's like, I don't know. It's like they took it personally and got all butthurt about it, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So whatever. you know, and it's sad because, like, the fridge itself, I liked. I mean, the whole reason I went with LG is because I liked that the ice maker was in the door, so it didn't take up any room, like in the freezer or the refrigerator part. And it had the middle drawer, which I liked. And of course, you know, I liked the counter depth. I mean, I still think it was ridiculous that it cost more for a smaller fridge, but whatever. Yeah, so, I mean, it does suck because, you know, like, the fridge had pretty much everything I wanted in, you know, what I was looking for. And then to have this much of an issue with, I mean, the fridge itself, which, okay, it's a bad fridge, whatever, you know, replace it, whatever. But to have that much issue with the company, and, you know, then I'm not going to buy their products because, you know, that's ridiculous that you're going to treat your customers that way. And, you know, the people that make your business thrive, and it's just, you know, absolutely ridiculous that I'm having to deal with this. But so that's what I've been dealing with and going through. But like I said, I just, you know I haven't been making any videos or anything like that. I don't know. I just haven't had any, like, inspiration to do anything. I don't know. And I don't know. I just don't know what people want to see. I don't know. So, anyways, I guess I'm gonna finish up my eyes. Yeah, I'll put this on. Mark on my fingernail. Oh, y'all like my nails? I love them. I have my toes white too. For some reason, I'm just real into the white. Just tight lining my eyes because I don't want a heavy liner. Oh my gosh, y'all. I have to tell you. I forgot to get the girls to try them, but I saw it on this YouTuber I watch, Tina Young. She was making, like, viral TikTok, like, summer snacks and stuff. And she had made these, it was just green grapes, and you wash them, and you pick them off the vine, and you put them in a gallon bag. Well, you leave them wet, and you dump some strawberry jello on top, not, you know, made up, the powder, and shake them, you know, coat them real good, and put them in the freezer. Oh my gosh, they were so good. They were so good. I ate a little bit of them before I froze them, and they were so good. But it's supposed to be like a cool, you know, to cool down summer treat, so that's why they froze them or whatever. But you don't have to freeze them. But dude, they were so good. And like I said, I forgot to get the girls to try them because they were, of course, out in the garage because, you know, I don't have a freezer inside my house. But yeah, they were so good. So yeah, y'all need to try them and let me know how y'all liked them because, oh my gosh, they were really addictive and good. So, oh wait, where's my, so yeah, so the girls are back in school. Yay. I just, they were getting on my nerves just a bit, just because, you know, of course, with, you know, everything going on, it's not like there's a whole lot open to do and all that, but no. We did take him to the beach one day, and before school started, and of course, you know, we did go school clothes shopping, so we did do that. So, of course, you know, they like to, oh, just stab myself in the eye. Now I got powder all over my contacts. They like to clothes shop, so, I mean, you know, they had fun, but, yeah, so this weekend, I bought them new beds. So they got bunk beds. Since the twins share a room, they got bunk beds, but they got, they used to have regular bunk beds, but they got, it's a loft bed. So it's the bed on top, and then underneath is open. So I also bought, I didn't get one that had a desk attached, but I bought one, and then we bought a desk that fits perfect under there. And then their dresser can fit under there as well without, you know, and then there, of course, their desk chair that they have. And so it will give them so much more room, I think. And then I went ahead and bought Brinley one too, the loft bed and a desk. And, just to give her more room too, because she has a double bed, which it was her crib, you know, turned into a day bed, then turned into, you know, I didn't realize it was going to turn into a double bed. And, I mean, she only sleeps on one side, so it, you know, almost wasteful, but she, the mattresses that they all three have, I just bought, I don't know, a couple years ago, so they're not old. So I just bought the frames, the bed frames, and they're reused the mattresses. So Brinley's still going to have a double bed, but I bought her the double loft bed, and but it'll still give her plenty of room because it'll be all open underneath. So, and then I can move, like I said, her dresser under there too, and then that'll give her room. So she'll have a lot more room to play and everything. So yeah, so that's what we'll be doing this weekend. All three of the beds came in today, and then the desk. All three of the desks should be here Saturday, I believe. So yep, so that's what we will be doing this weekend, is putting beds together. So that'll be fun. I mean, I don't mind putting stuff together. I actually kind of like putting things together and everything, but yep. So what is everybody else doing this weekend? My dad had back surgery. He's doing good. I mean, he's still in quite a bit of pain, but I mean, it's back surgery, so it's not like you're gonna pop up from it and be, you know, back to normal. So he's in pain, but he's walking and everything. So he's doing good, I guess. They were both sick recently, but they're better now. So yeah, so I know because he had surgery on one of his elbows. I don't know when it was. 6 weeks ago or more, maybe? Oh, maybe more. I don't know. He's had so much done since the wreck that it's hard to keep up with. It's funny because my blush does not look very vibrant in my mirror, but in this camera it looks kind of clownish. But anyways, so yeah, he found out yesterday he's gonna have to have his other elbow done, but because of everything going on, all that kind of elective surgery is shut down right now. So I don't know when he'll have that, but he's had more surgeries in the last 2 years than he ever had in his entire life. So that's fun. But, I mean, he is getting better, you know, with each surgery. So hopefully, you know, it'll be good. So, I mean, hopefully it'll, you know, be worth it. It just sucks. He's lost so much weight, and he just looks so, he's just so skinny. And then, of course, you know, he's, you know, retired, or, you know, doesn't work. And so he, you know, has the typical, almost like old biker, you know, with the long hair, but he has like no hair up at the top, and it's long, and I don't know, kind of funny. But Mom says he needs to get a haircut because he looks like a, I don't know, terrible, dirty person or something, even though he's not. He just, because of his hair, it looks like that. But anyways, so yeah, but he's doing good. So my husband's still dealing with problems with his arm after having the shingles. He did have another, which is odd, but he had another flare-up of the, like, the shingles rash. And he actually still has, like, I guess, like, scars from it. I don't know how to, but he has the, oh God, my mind just went blank. Oh my gosh, where you lose the pigment in your skin. So, like, he has white patches. So anytime he gets, like, a cut or burned or anything like that, he loses the pigment. So he turns white, and he gets very dark, especially during the summertime, very tan. So it's more noticeable in the, you know, summertime. But so those spots that he had the rash are now, like, white. So they look like scars. But he had a real bad spot on his stomach, but he had to have it biopsied because he went to a dermatologist and they didn't recognize it as shingles. And so they did a biopsy, and they said it had something to do with, like, the shingles, but it wasn't shingles, but it, I don't know, something to do with it. I don't know. Not a real clear answer on it, but, so anyways, so that's, it's gone, but like I said, he has, like, the scars or whatever from it, but, he still is dealing with the nerve pain, from it. So, and they had given him some new medicine, I don't know what it's called, but he doesn't like it because he says he feels like he's having a heart attack on it. It makes his chest real tight, hurts, and then, of course, his arm hurts, but not like it goes down his arm like a heart attack, but he said that's literally what it feels like. He said it's terrible, and it scares him, so he won't take it. So, of course, the doctor said don't take it, but so anyways, so let me put on, I guess I'll put on a lipstick. I don't know. I just redid all my makeup and got rid of some things, and I found things that I forgot that I had and everything, so I rearranged some stuff, so now I don't even know what I want. You know what? I'm just going to put on some gloss. I mean, I'm not going anywhere, so what does it matter? I'm doing good on my weight loss. I kind of am stagnant right now. I'm slowly losing weight. I guess I shouldn't talk when I do this. I am about 3 pounds from my next goal, so that's exciting. It's just going slow, but I've kind of been dealing with everything. I'm not eating the best, but I'm not eating bad. Like, it's terrible. I had ramen noodles the other night, and I woke up the next day in just horrific bloated pain. It was terrible. I said, I swore I'm never going to eat that again. It was absolutely terrible. I was in so much pain because of the, I was so bloated, and the only thing I can think, obviously, is the ramen noodles. I mean, that's the only thing, like, out of the ordinary that I ate or anything, and oh, it was terrible. Oh, I was in so much pain, to the point like I thought I was going to throw up. I just hurt so bad, but I didn't. And I started feeling better about midday. I felt better, but oh, it was terrible. It was awful, but anyway, so there's I know my hair looks terrible, but I have to, I need to straighten it or do something. So anyway, so I'm gonna go. That's my finished makeup look. Like I said, I don't have anything going on today. I wanted to rant about LG and let everybody know my experience. And like I said, I mean, you know, if you have it and you love your, you know, LG product, or you dealt with, you know, good people, then I feel like you're lucky, because I didn't. But anyway, so okay, well, I don't know when my next video is going to be, if you know, so just be on the lookout for it. But I had fun ranting, but I will see y'all next time. Bye.